All right. So, yep, the stream is going. Let's see if the YouTubes are having problems. Any problems on the YouTube side of things? Because OBS did update recently. No, I think we're all good. I think we're golden. We're golden. Testing. Mic check on everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Checking in, Mike. Are you still doing fine? We haven't talked in like a month.
No, I'm doing pretty shittily, honestly, man.
Damn, we should talk more.
All right. All right. Yep. So, okay. So, welcome back to another session of D&D Darkest Hope. Where we last left off was a few strange things happen. First, Damien has continued his draw fair during the last few days of downtime. Workers slowly start to come in and is slowly building up the workforce. Due to this, the town's happiness has actually increased slightly. So the people have some work, the economy is slowly getting better, but it's taking time. Now, Umbreon, aka Itogen, last session, ended up discovering more about his crystal. The town mayor before you guys had experimented with this crystal to try to help grow crops quicker. The experiments failed, and he ended up selling the crystal to a jeweler in River Creek.
Back.
Welcome back. During the mini session, Blue was contacted by the Blood Hunters. The hunters have set up a small temporary camp outside of the town's borders because they do not have full permission to enter the town just quite yet. They're hoping to gain access to the town within the next 2 days. But so far, nothing has occurred. Blue has also taken an offer from Lady Marie, one of the higher-ranking hunters in this group. There is a powerful blood beast that they believe is on their way. It's on its way to the town, and they want to intercept it before the town gets hit. Lady Marie thinks the beast will be here within a week if nothing is done. So, currently they're waiting on Marcus to basically give them the okay to exterminate the beast. Also, recently, Rose had unlocked a hidden power within themselves and is now keeping a secret. The power I do not feel right disclosing to the other players until Rose themselves feels comfortable telling you. Cameron, aka Edith, had accepted the vampiric side of themselves and had found a new oath in the Oath of Blood. Currently, with Sanguinaria and Nex, they are hoping to track down a very old and possibly very powerful vampire who's hiding, where he has violated the blood tenets. You're not sure when he'll move again, but you have an idea of his last location, and a compass currently tracking him. Now, let me see. Am I missing anything? No, not. That is currently what's going on during the last session. Now, some downtime activities real quick before we move on to today. This session is taking place 2 days after the last one. I will go down the order of Roll20 order real quick and figure out what you guys are planning on doing for your downtime. Damien, what are you doing during these 2 days?
Dominantly, I will be partaking in the job fair and general additions to the town I find myself housed in, depending on the distance. And when we actually determined, hey, we're doing this next, a small scouting over the docks might be in order.
All right.
Setting up a proper company name and establishing a connection to other merchants in the area, in the the continent.
You're hoping to establish trade.
Pretty much to say, hey, we're actually improving.
I believe that would be
Not
something.
just a waste.
I believe that would be something Clark would be doing during these days, trying to establish trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Note it. And I've already told you the result of the job fair. Aubryon, what are you doing during these 2 days?
During these 2 days, Inogen would most likely, under disguise of someone else, obviously, start swindling people as usual. As everyone's favorite Italian, Mario.
All right. So are you just swindling coin out of them?
Yeah?
All right. I'll make a note of it. Can you go ahead and roll me 3d6 for your 2 days of work?
Not deception? Well, whatever.
Huh?
Not deception?
You can go ahead and roll your deception to see how many you fool, but the 3d6 was for something else. And what type of product are you trying to sell?
I'm going to sell Headache Begone. It's a like Headache Begone, a new revolutionary pain-killing substance that not only makes your life a bit better by getting away head pains, it also makes you 100% happier after taking it. If you're not feeling happier after taking it, please take another dose. And if you're still not feeling happy, maybe you should try fixing something else in your life.
Does the product actually work or no?
Of course not.
I meant the headache removing part.
No.
Okay, so none of this works. Got it.
Just sell them some sugar.
And,
Exactly.
And
that would actually work, Umbreon.
Alright. Let's see. And how much are you selling it for?
Well, the town's still not out of debt, so 3 copper pieces
3 copper pieces.
for 5 grams.
Oh, we're selling them by the gram now.
5.5. You made 5 silver and 5 copper, as you are able to fool quite a bit of people.
I bet some people weren't fooled. They're just like, oh, free sugar. I mean, cheap sugar. Hell yeah.
Hey, cheap sugar's cheap sugar. And that is profit. That is after taking out what you would have lost by getting the product at, Swendo. That is profit. So you ain't got to worry about any of that, okay?
Got it.
All right. Next on the order is Blue. Blue, what will you be doing in these 2 days?
Getting more used to my new weapon.
Will you be training with the hunters?
Yes.
They will ask.
Basically-
Then they will ask, how is the process of getting them a place to stay in town going?
Oh. Well, I
Have
actually
not brought it up
enjoy-
with them.
I have not. And as a matter of fact, that would probably stop me from actually training a little bit more. And actually, I need to go back to the manor. First thing, and bring that exact point up to the rest of the group as early as possible.
We'll say that you spend 2 days training, and then you're planning on.
No. I do not want the 2 days of training to like come back and haunt me in the end. It's like, well, you spent 2 days training with us and then nothing happened. No, I want to like
Oh.
take. Yeah, I don't want to take advantage of that
No, Blue.
before I have like an established place for them to be.
Let's say you called a meeting that will take place in 2 days. And that's where we're going to actually meet up, where everyone's going to be meeting at the manor to talk about the town.
All right.
So you spend a few days getting used to your new weird, but like your weird saw cleaver thing. Like you're getting easier with using it, but you still almost lost a finger every now and again. I mean, trick weapons, they're hard, man. You know?
I need to modify this one a little bit more to my liking. But I would say that Marcus is like enjoying this challenge of using it.
You do. Now you're testing this with the low rank hunters. Lady Marie seems to be busy preparing like different alchemy concoction for some reason.
Okay,
So you haven't got to spend time with them.
fair.
Lastly, for downtime, Cameron, what are you planning on doing for your 2 days?
Ah.
Say that again.
I'm back.
Hmm.
I had to stop my dogs from tearing something up in the backyard.
All right, so you didn't. So what are you planning on doing for your 2 downtime days?
Well, one discuss my new vampireness with Sanguinaria so I can learn more about what I am. And 2, come up with plans on how to peacefully deal with the Sisters of Battle when they come to investigate my sudden death.
And Apex. I don't think Apex is. No, he's muted. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I exist. I'm just muting myself so I can be with my family at the same time.
Oh, that's fine. So anything in particular you're doing during the 2 days?
I mean, not particularly. Just if Cameron wishes to learn more about her new state of being, could take her hunting in the woods with the rangers that I'm supposed to be training as well.
Yep.
Because they're, now in existence, but I still have a job to do.
Alright. So you're training your hunters and taking time to talk to Cam about their new existence.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Might visit with my sister since, only see her once every how many ever hundreds of years.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yes.
Your sister is starting to slowly construct a place for them to stay more permanently. Close to the town, but not like in the town's borders by technicality.
Just, her witch shack.
Yeah, we'll call it a witch sack.
It's a literal. No, I think they're huts or something. But yeah, she's a witch, so she does witch things off in the woods with a cauldron.
Pure curiosity, do vampires affect their environment?
Yes, but I don't think we do for the point of hurting things.
Okay.
But the monster block vampire does have regional effects.
Got it.
Well, Apex, we'd actually discussed the downsides of having your sister here and all that. So
I get that. I was more answering it from a direct to Cam. We as players do not for balance purposes, but the vampire stat block does.
all right. So now it has been 2 days. Everybody had in requests of Blue. Clark has, sent out messages to everybody, including Damien, to basically come together and talk about the state of the town. And also talk about other matters of importance. And the reason Damien is coming by is Clark wants to personally have Damien listed in because one of the topics is Damien's job fair and how that's going.
How are you doing, dog? Got a dog watching my game. He's just sitting here on my shoulder.
And I'm not going to. So, got the blue. Characters. Here we are.
Fuck, that ain't my character.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm fixing it. Remove. There you go. That should be fixed. Let's see. Etogen. Etogen, is your familiar currently out, or is it in its own little pocket space right now?
I mean, it has no reason not to be out while we're inside, but the moment we leave, it's going into pocket space because people don't like magic.
Is my Pangold still loyal to me? Because I'm still lawful good.
That is actually a really good question, Cam. I forgot about him for a moment.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked up.
We'll talk about him in a moment.
Mm,
But currently, he is not sitting on. They're not sitting on your shoulder.
yeah.
They
I
haven't
am-
climbed onto you in a while.
Yeah, I am still showing affection towards it.
Spots over there. Probably need to grab Clark. Yep. And currently, since Rose is not here, I will not have them their token on the board. So, let us start this meeting.
Yep.
I will attempt to do my best Clark impression here.
Feel better. Clerk doesn't say anything. Clerk's a note keeper. The only thing Clerk would say, if anything, is the meeting is now addressed, and then let everyone else speak and note keep of everything, what everyone said.
Okay. The meeting is now addressed as Clark begins to start to take notes.
So. I do believe we have a few matters to discuss. One of which being issues in our town that seem to lead outside of our town, as well as the fact, I believe, first, before we go deal with said issues, we deal with the issue of the creatures by the docks. Whatever it may be.
To at least investigate of the area and ensure it can be utilized to some degree. Figuring out the docks and making it functional could greatly enhance our access to the other towns.
Not to mention trade.
Trade is not the most immediate thing, as we'd more care for inland.
If any,
That's true.
But there are places of interest that are in relatively far points from where we are.
Securing
There
transportation
is-
by water would definitely be advantageous.
if anything, I believe that just just fishing, adding to our food supply would greatly increase morale as well.
It's a start.
Then I'm trying to figure out how to word this because I need to warn you guys. There is another more personal issue that might come up for me in the coming days.
Being
My unconventional dismissal from the Sisters of Battle. They will likely figure out something has happened. Edith is. I couldn't do this in the model, but she actually has the half of the broken holy symbol attached to her hair in like a braid. And she begins playing with that. Leaving the sisters is quite a strict punishment, so for my own safety, it might be better if we pretend I am dead. And how we will accomplish that. If anyone has any ideas, I would be grateful. Yes, pretend, because everyone else doesn't
how big's the influence of the church in this land again?
Pretty big. The Inquisition.
big.
Yeah, it's. The only thing that's more influential than the church is the council themselves. More specifically, the Church of the Morning Sun controls a lot of this kingdom.
That's the church that Rose belongs to, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Sunlight, excuse me.
yeah.
Quick question. Would the church have the power to either attack or punish a government official, even if it's for a small town,
Yes.
without
Yeah.
any reasoning of just saying, I don't want to be a sister of battle, I'm focused more on my townly duties.
Yes.
It is. The price of breaking my oath to the Sisters of Battle is being burned alive at the stake.
That's it, or
There's a bit more complexity, I will state, as the GM. The Sister of Battle have like a lot of authority, and anyone from the council or anyone close to like the council ranks are okay, but they can formally make a request to the council members if they have a good reason, such as if someone was summoning demons in the middle of the council room, then people would have a problem with that. However, lower mayors and town officials like you guys don't have the same immunity, not without appealing to the council for said immunity.
And I'm legally dead, so.
What do we need to actually deal with?
Well, the issue is due to the fact I am the daughter of a high ranking member of the Sisters of Battle and was betrothed to a member of the council. Yeah.
Oh.
It
Huh.
Almost
You
literally
just-
what Apex is saying. They died. We don't even need to necessarily say they were cremated. If they died in battle, we cannot recover the body.
the issue is
There's
I am more worried about who the sisters will send to confirm my death more than anything else.
They have perished in the wilderness. Animals likely devoured the body. You can do your search, but
Yeah.
it will prove
They will
fruitless.
crusade for the recovery of my body.
Then
Well,
let them search idly in an empty area.
yeah. As long as we don't necessarily get in their way and they come up empty-handed at the very end, we should all be fine.
It's-
Something I should state is you guys have no idea when they would be coming.
Yeah. How many times do you think your fingers Jen?
You cut out for me.
How many times do you think your fingers could be broken before they can never be used again, Imogen?
Well, if they attack me for no good reason after I give them an explanation of he died in battle, I think there's going to be a
That's
bit more of an issue.
blatant assault. If we wish to fall to that degree, we should also consider the fact if they burn our town to the ground.
Which
And not
is
just that,
we have-
it's
we have
should
to-
they
we have-
literally kill everyone,
We have to think
which
of
is
we have to think
irrational.
of the other people in this town who can't defend themselves.
I am trying to.
You're going on an irrational thought. If they do that, they will discredit themselves rapidly. There is no need for barbarians to be your protector. For they is just likely to protect you as they are to kill you.
True. True.
If all you do is fear for a power, then you are not going to ever succumb over it or achieve over said power. If all you believe is we must hide, then we can hide. If you think that they will fight, then they can fight.
I am
We
saying
do not need to match them.
I do not want to match them. It is a complicated situation for me personally.
You are making it more complex than I understand.
Well, we've got multiple matters on the table that need to be dealt with.
True. Agreed. What else?
Now, there is the group of hunters outside the city who are currently seeking some form of shelter here in the town, potentially to make somewhat of a haven or some place to perform their operations out of.
Are they
To what
asking
end?
for housing? Are they asking for land? Are they asking for land and protection? To what degree?
Simply lodging is what is the only request they've asked for.
So they're requiring housing.
Housing of some sort, yes. But there is quite a number of them.
We hardly have housing for the people here.
Exactly. Which is why I brought it up with you guys.
Money.
Because they would be a great asset to help out in the protection of the town, but also in helping out with other resources in multiple other ways.
You said they're a hunting party, correct? What are they hunting?
They're primarily hunters of beasts.
Are they coming here to just hunt beasts or something in particular?
From what I've been told by their leader, Lady Maria, is that there is a particular beast in this area that is they intend to hunt.
So lodging is temporary.
At the moment,
Then
But-
simply pay for lodging.
well, they're seeking out something a little bit more long term, or possibly even short term, maybe. Possibly a few weeks or months, maybe longer.
To the same term, purchase lodging. If it is not immediately available, find a way to make it available. We have no reason to give them lodging.
That's fair. Well, I'll have to. I'll find a place for them.
No, they will find a place for themselves.
I'll help them find a place.
You should not do such. Your presence is more important than you understand currently.
I know.
For if they wish to live here, then they are civilians. If they wish for a governmental position, then they can ask for a governmental position. But to what you're saying, they want housing, not officialness yet.
Oh. I'll send word to them. That's the only matter I have to discuss, at least currently.
Downhill above board. Why is my job fair in question?
It's not really in question. It's more they wanted to address the what you're planning to do with your job fair in the near future and ask you. Well, it was mostly, hey, Damien, what is your plans with your job fair in the near to late future? Because it seems to be helping out the town quite a bit. So
We brought it up in a meeting before, and I literally did it the day of the job fair. Originally was, hey, we need jobs for people. Damien was like, all right, I'll go do that. Oh, that was like the entire thing. The only thing that I was gonna do with it is go with clerk to make it official, or at least attempt to.
all right.
Because I'm not necessarily asking anyone else to do anything, but I don't think anyone has like questions on it or really care more than like, oh, you keep going, Damien.
Yeah.
You go, kid.
So, for pressing matters, we have to keep an eye out for when the Sisters of Battle go looking for Edith. Marcus needs to tell the hunting party they can look for lodging in the town. We will not bar them from entry.
Understood.
Damien and I forgot the old character's name.
Clerk.
Yeah. Cleric will go make the job fair more official. And during the fact, we as a group or us individually, if we feel we're more stealthy on our own, try to find out more about the docks. Correct?
Sanguinarius and I will scout out the docks.
That'll be most
Right.
efficient for them to go.
In the most simplicity. Once again, to
Grunt.
address Edith's situation, that simply covering yourself will solve almost majority of the issue unless some other altercation occurs.
I hope you're correct.
If it is not, then we bring up the fact that they're condoning acts of war in our area, and we asked for the capital's aid.
Uh, sorry, just this is something I have lived in fear of for so long. The idea of it actually happening. Yet is frightening. I do not regret my decision, but it is still frightening. Edith slowly breaking through years of brainwashing.
But I believe that is all the immediate questions and clarifications needed.
At least all the ones on my part.
It seems so.
So the meeting disclosed.
Right. Now, what do I want to do first? Because now there's a few things I believe you guys are planning on going off and doing. One group wants to go to the docks and investigate. Damien and Clark, making your job fair a more of an official matter ain't really that difficult.
It's probably clerks just sending papers, and that's it.
Yeah. We also have the talk with the Blood Hunters, which Blue is planning on doing. Eugen, what is your plan, real quick?
I'm going over to the dock and trying to scout out as well.
So you're going with the scouting party.
Well, I'm just going there. I'm not particularly going there with
This guy.
Sanguinari and Edith.
You're scouting by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, me and my familiar are going.
Of course,
And-
Master. Of course, Master. Anything
yes,
you need.
Oh, does Arjun have an issue with me, by the way?
Enogen? No, you
No,
just
not-
said,
Arjun, her horse.
No,
Right.
not Arjun isn't the horse. Arjun
Okay.
is the pangle. Michelangelo is the horse.
Right. Oh. Also, Enogen, before I have to mute myself again, you were the jerk who starts saying goodbye to everyone and then goes in the exact same direction.
I said, and then we could all individually or as a group go to the docks. And Edith just blurted out, "Oh, so me and Sanguinari are gonna go." And Enogen's like, "Well, fuck me then. I guess I'll go by myself then."
You guys can
Sorry.
go.
I just got a cat curled up.
Let's
in my
see.
lap.
So, before we go to the docks and do that, we will go with. Let's go with the smaller group and then head with the two other groups together. So, Marcus, you make your way to the outskirts of the town. As you do, you hear the sound of clashing blades. Blue? Marcus heads to the outskirts of town. As you do, you hear the sound of clashing blades. And notable grunts of pain. on the outskirts of town, you see the blood hunters seem to be fighting with some other people. And the other people are losing pretty badly.
The hell's going on?
As I do not have tokens for the blood hunters, but these are the people they're fighting.
Alright.
As Lady Marie cuts down another person, the guy in the back is like, "Oh, come on guys, gotta get out of here!" As they are going to run away. Lady Marie cleans off the blood from her blade and sheaths it. Marcus, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna run over.
You okay? We're only allowed to
sound
die
of-
once per session, man.
I know, sorry. Ugh. I'm
He's
okay.
acting it out. And
But anyway, I'm gonna run over and kind of like have my cleaver and pistol drawn. I'm just gonna like kind of run up and kind of jokingly say, "Looks like I missed a party."
Wasn't much of a party, more of a battle.
Ah, you're one of those people.
My kind of party. But
You are a strange one.
is everyone all right? What happened?
Not sure. They pointed their weaponry at us and told us to hand over our possessions. We simply said no, and just they point to like some of the dismembered bodies behind them, and that is the result of it.
Bandits, by the sound of it.
Are you back for another day of training?
Not exactly, but I am back with good news. The members of the council have decided to allow you and the members of your party to have complete access to the town as long as you're basically you are able to come into the town and seek lodging. And we can't exactly offer you specific housing, but we can at least accommodate you, or at least attempt to accommodate all the members of your hunting party through the normal means.
And you have mentioned to them the possibility of us making this more of a haven for other hunters, correct?
Yes, and we're going to work towards that. This is more of a starting point.
Hmm. May I ask what are their demands of this?
Just simply um
Payment in coin? Payment by
Eh.
blood?
coin,
Coin.
preferably.
We're kind of broke.
How much coin?
Well, that may depend on the amount of people and potentially time until we're able to make this more of a permanent establishment and actually find you a proper establishment to work out of or call your own. We're working with the bare minimum here. We have very little to offer at all. But we're at least willing to let you come in and be a part of what little we have.
Hmm. And did you bring up the possible threat of the blood-starved beasts?
Did. And I mentioned it was part of the reason why you were here.
did you also mention the other concern we had of what the Church of the Morning Sun would do if they found out we were lodging here?
Not yet.
So you told them half the information.
I told him all I remembered.
In a while. I knew I was gonna.
Bring
knew
up
I was
that
gonna
there are
get-
other issues with the Church of the Morning Sun at the moment.
Yes, I should. There are quite a few issues with the Church of the Morning Sun currently, which is why I decided to be as discreet about this as I can. That's part of why I've come alone, and to deliver this message to you personally.
Hmm. And your decision to go hunt the beasts with me.
Still stands.
Do you have a date when we will be leaving to hunt this beast?
When is the next convenient day out of character?
That is
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Oh, great.
3 days from now. That way, if we get really beat up in the dungeon, you can still heal up and head out.
It's gonna take us like 1 day to get there, so it'd actually be like
4 days?
5.
4 to 5 days. Okay. I'll say potentially 4 to 5 days. With all the recent developments and things that myself and the members of the council, acting as the marshals that we are,
And what of the people?
it may be best to interact with them as little as you can, as just for now, I guess, until we're able to, I guess, slowly get them used to the idea of you being around. It is probably going to maybe cause a stir or at least some confusion at first.
As long as the people are not going to attack us like many times beforehand.
They've been through too much for that. I don't believe any of them will be hostile.
You're an outcast, and outcasts are welcome here.
Yes. We're all pretty much outcasts and unwanted here.
Hmm. Question.
Yes.
What is the best way to say this? What is the you see that they do take one moment to take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
As they, look over to the town. Does the town people know of the imminent danger that is on their doorstep?
No.
Shouldn't the town folk be aware of it?
We found it's best to
lie to them.
Not give them more bad news.
That's kind of accurate.
So they do not start wire.
Well,
So they do not start causing panic.
so they don't lose any more faith.
Faith can be a very dangerous thing, Hunter.
Well, for them, having faith in themselves is sometimes sometimes the only thing that gets them through the day. But for me, I have a different drive.
Are the hunters' aid needed anywhere in the town at the current moment?
Currently, I would say no, but I would recommend continuing keeping track of the beast until we are able to successfully seek it out and potentially destroy it.
Keeping track of the beast is quite difficult due to the fact that we can only estimate when it could arrive.
I understand.
If the leader wasn't so adamant of giving you a chance to hunt this beast with us, I could have taken care of it by now. I do not know what he's thinking.
To be honest, Lady Maria, nor do I.
Wait, who?
Maria.
Mm.
That's her name.
It's just. Never mind, I'm tired.
Okay. But
I'm tired and I got a sleeping cat in my lap, which makes me feel happy.
Understand. Yeah, there's nothing else you need of you, Marcus. If you do not wish to train, I would like to. They look at the other hunters currently dragging the bodies off from the side of the town out of people's eyesight.
It took care of bandits. If anything, that just makes you better in the common folks book.
right. It's like, welcome. Hi.
Hunters are already discriminated against because the people are fearful of them. If they just see a bunch of body parts near their camp, that could spell trouble.
Okay.
So
You see a lot of body parts near anyone. You don't take that positively,
yeah,
regardless of what
Yeah.
it is.
Fine. I do, but I'm fucking weird with it. I'm from a
Marcus has
weird
introduced
family.
A very crazy element into the town.
I mean,
Yeah, Marcus has introduced a very wild element into the town.
Cameron approves. Edith, well, they also fight the darkness by utilizing it, therefore they are good in her books.
now they are.
Yeah.
When
She's
would-
always been
When would
weird.
it be a good time for me to meet with leaders of the town, discuss payment of the property?
I'm not sure when our next council meeting isn't exactly planned.
Because the land out here is quite comfortable for us hunters. We find it out of the way of the town. However, we are still within the town's borders. So we wish to purchase this land and build our sanctuary here.
Oh. will.
Makes things easier.
It does. Let's see.
Just gotta convince the old man, Sanguinarius.
I'll have to speak to the head of our council directly.
Something.
Understood.
It can be done.
Just let me know when you can set up a meeting for us to discuss these matters.
I will do so as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Hunter. As they go and start checking on people.
Out of
Marcus,
curiosity, where is Buddy?
Marcus tips his hat.
Buddy, Marcus knows this, that Buddy is not currently in this camp.
Okay. Sorry, I always like seeing Buddy because she's one of my baby girls.
So, now back to the others real quick. So the next group will be focusing on who wants to go to the docks first? Itogen, or does Cameron, or does Edith and Sanguinari want to go first?
Well, Inogen was just gonna go after the meeting because he has nothing better to do at the current moment.
So he's probably just gone. And everyone's wondering where he went.
As this thing, is it a fiend or elemental, Umbreon?
Elemental.
Understood. As
But until we get to a place where I think it's dangerous, he's staying in the pocket dimension because people don't like magic.
I bet you
Fire elemental?
I bet you a 2, Master. Call me when you require my assistance.
My god, does this thing suck your dick too?
It vanishes as the fire all around it kind of shrinks into itself, and there's a small spark as it pops into its pocket dimension. As Itogen, you'll be the first one to this map. The docks look to be...
Oops. My bad. That was not intentional.
The docks seem to be...
I'm going to need to bathe my daughter, so I will be right back.
Alright.
Oh,
The docks seem to be... quiet. The water sits still, and there is a noticeable fog in the area. Sorry, I sneezed.
Bless you. Wow. I noticed that. I do know from what everybody's saying, no one comes to the docks, correct?
No one comes to the docks, no. Oh.
Cool. I tell my familiar his break's over.
It pops back into existence with a bit of a fiery flare.
Do the thing. You know, the thing that detects elementals.
Hold on, is that an actual thing it gets?
Yep.
You can get detect presence and Umbreon. It's not just one. What's the other?
Fiends, but I think the only fiend here is me.
Detect elementals. Did you put that down
Detect
Yep.
presence is what it's called.
It's in wild traits. It has elemental resistance, fire, spell study, wizard, illumination.
Can you
detect presence.
please put on the sheet what each of those do?
I can tell you and show you a picture. Detect presence. After spending a minute, it can tell me the location and the amount, but not specifics, of every one of those two creature types in a 1 mile distance of it.
1 mile?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so it's
And,
going to probably go to the edge of the dock here to get the best result.
And the amount it tells me is like, if there's 10 of them, you would say double digit. Or if there's 100 of them, you say triple digit, etc., etc.
As it's going to detect for a mile. And just the elemental?
It gets a sense of both elementals
It
and
has to do both, yeah.
As
So
it will say elemental single digit, fiend single digit.
things in the docks aren't So the things that are hunting ducks aren't elementals. That's a upside. I prefer using fire magics. But couldn't you give me a bit more specifics? Man, or maybe I should send him a more useful familiar. I think I should go with a water elemental next. What do you think?
It kind of rolls its eyes as under the water, about as it points out the water towards that way.
Legend.
But
It just sensibly points that way.
so it just points to the north of the dock.
Yeah. I sense no elemental or fiend, but I thought I saw something move over there.
You thought you saw? My God, I might have to replace you. Well, are there any like small boats? Or
There's a boat right here.
I said small boats downhill.
Over here. Slightly stuck in the dock, but you can easily get it out.
Cool. Once we get in, I tell my familiar to row until it gets to the place where it thought it saw something.
You are gonna get yourself killed.
This is what I get for being the 73rd Prince of the Plane of Fire. As it starts rowing. Should have asked more when I got summoned.
Maybe you should have been the second Prince of Fire in the Elemental Plane of Fire. Then you might actually be cool.
I mean, I am working on making my way to the top.
Like a famous artist once said, started from the bottom, now we're here.
As this is the area where I saw it. As the mist around you thickens even more, Umbreon.
Could I tell if it's spell made?
Do you have detect magic, or would you like to make an arcana check, or...
Arcana check.
Please, go right ahead. It is not natural, you know that much. You're not sure what type of spell, but there is some sort of magic being employed here. As your fire elemental pulls something up from the side of the boat. It hands it to you. It looks to be a piece of wood that seems to be has a carving in it. Question, what languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, and Infernal.
None of those. But it does seem to be some sort of language.
I guess you aren't completely useless. Well, start rowing back.
Boss?
Yes.
Where did you put the oar?
Why would I have the oar?
It's not where I left it!
You know what that means, right? Someone's going overboard and swimming the boat to the dock.
Boss, I am literally made of fire.
Boo-hoo.
Your familiar gets dismissed if it attempts to do that, Umbreon. I will warn you that.
Come on. It has no weakness to water. It's just as resistant to fire.
You're not weak to water. Come on.
Exactly. I physically couldn't take that choice. So it's perfectly fine. Just like Charizard's flames are super hot and can't go out underwater unless it's like really bad of storm.
Nope.
Yep. So
As
it can swim me to the dock.
make me a wisdom saving throw, Umbreon. For both you and your familiar. And that's for you. You both pass. As you know, someone was attempting to charm you.
Do I see anything? Because if it was a type of spell, there would still most likely be a verbal component.
You saw a figure in the smoke from over here. As you notice, the water starts to push your boat back to the dock. And leaves you there.
How much you want to bet that piece of wood says leave?
I will bet you're right, Pinky Toe.
Oh, I'll bet your head then.
Fair enough. It'll grow back.
If I want to bring you back, I could just leave you kind of dead.
Leave me back home at the plane of fire where I will reform my body once again. Yes, you're correct.
Or I could make you my lamp. A fire that won't go out. It's actually kind of useful.
Kitty, kitty,
Useful
kitty
enough
is
to make like
there.
a second level spell, but still useful.
Hey, is that a second level spell, actually?
Continual flame?
Yeah.
Fair.
It's actually worse because you could argue that light could go out underwater.
At this point, I believe. Well, I don't think Apex is back. I believe Edith and Apex would actually appear at this point. As your Pangolo, Edith, is walking alongside you. Like, just studying you a bit.
My change in nature has upset you, hasn't it?
In celestial state. Being of pure heart. Fallen by temptation of love. Understandable, but still, that concerns me. You abandon one oath, will you abandon another?
I do not know. I pray it never has to come to that. But
Your uncertainty worries me.
as it does to me, as it worries me as well. But the sisters, I do not believe they can achieve their original purpose of eradicating evil. They simply perpetuate a pattern. From here, I can protect my people by defending them diplomatically against the forces of darkness, or fighting them, and do the same against the forces of light. I am equal in both. I do not believe myself evil, if anything. I see this as a gift to allow me to protect more people. Those who have been cursed against their wills, and those who have yet to be, who should never be cursed.
The road to the Nine Hells are normally paved with good intentions, Edith.
I agree.
You have compromised your morals. Your oath you have abandoned. I do not know if you're the same person. I pledge my loyalty.
Edith gets down with the Pangle. I am more true to myself and who I am than I have ever been. I'm no longer the blackness I saw in the sisters. No longer corrupts my vision.
I will see if the true Edith will be the one I continue to serve. And note this: if I see you if I see you walk an evil path, you will have me as a foe, not an ally.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Cam, you have lost
Yeah.
loyalty with your Pangolo.
I kind of figured.
It-
He is gonna get pets, though.
It refuses. Hey, true. I apologize, but we are currently that close. I will continue to be your shield if you continue to be others' shield. As it crawls onto you slowly.
Currently looking at one of my new spells, which basically has me take health and give it to others. Take some of my health and use it to shield other people. Oh, that'll be easy.
Are you taking your horse with you, Cam?
I can summon the horse whenever I need to, but yes.
Just want to know if you're taking a spell slot to do that, or if you're just.
I can ritual cast that.
I don't think you can. I don't think that's a ritual, and also I don't think
Random steed?
not Fine Steed. It's not a ritual. It's an actual spell, Cam. Fine Steed is not a ritual, and I also
Fine
don't.
Steed is. Phantom Steed is. But I don't think
okay.
Paladin gets ritual casting. I
Yeah,
think it's like.
Oh,
Cleric
okay, I
does that.
misunderstood something.
but until it gets like defeated, basically, you don't have to resummon it, or
Yeah,
if you get too
so-
separated from it too.
Yeah, so he's staying with. Oh my god. Sorry, I just had the cutest shit going on out in real life right now. My cat has like crawled up onto my shoulder and is currently asleep drooling. Oh, look at this kitty. Yes, look at this kitty. I got a fluffy kitty girl. Yes, I do.
As I still believe Apex is still gone. We'll say Sangaria decided to investigate the docks further down. Cameron, you see Irujin coming off a boat with his fire thing.
You. Inogen, are you alright?
Of course I am. Oh, I don't think I formally introduced you to. Hawks, introduce yourself.
My name is Huxfire Corsiba Corsim III, also known as the 45th in line to the Kingdom of Fire.
You just
Wow, did two of your
dismount.
brothers die already?
Yes,
They were drowned. By me.
they fought
While you were-
a good. There was a small war with the elemental plane of water and fire, and as you could probably tell, we lost.
2 people.
Yes.
Well,
You know-
whatever.
Inogen, please tell me you did not go out into the water alone.
I didn't. I
I accompany my current master.
You are a fool. Out of
Says the
any of
person
us,
who brought the horse to what we assume is a water threat.
The horse looks at the water and does not see its reflection.
Like,
Let's
literally. Horses can't swim. Why did you bring that?
well, I needed to get here swiftly. Stop people from doing something foolish. In actuality, Edith just loves her horse and doesn't want to be separated from it. Michelangelo?
You see the horse hovering above the water, just looking at it. It looks over.
That's new, but also adorable.
As it looks down and notices and starts to freak out.
Okay, that's adorable.
But anyway, Edith, how good are you with languages?
I speak the language. I speak a few holy languages, if that is what you require. Okay, I only speak Common and Celestial.
So chances are you probably don't got this. But what does this piece of wood say?
Can I read it?
Nope.
Unfortunately, I cannot read such a language. It must be. Where did you? Of course, you went out into the water alone.
I didn't. I had Hawks, remember?
Alone. I
A.
do not
Hawks is
have
a
the.
person, a lesser one, but he's still a person.
You know, I would be insulted, but I'm happy that you defended me a little bit there.
To be fair, if I were to go by council law, you would both be considered lesser people.
Ouch! Racist!
I know, right?
Ah,
Doesn't that make you a lesser person now, too? Edith?
what do you mean by that?
Come on.
I
It's
have
not
no.
that hard to guess, Edith.
I have no clue what you're talking about. My failure as a sister of battle to keep my oath?
No, I'm talking about the late night blood parties you're about to throw.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Uh,
Give
armor,
me a
scare you to-
second.
armor tell you not to tell anyone?
Rolling deception.
That's
Well,
up to Agent if he believes you or not.
Well, he doesn't believe you because he pretty much already knows Apex is a vampire.
I
And
have
also, Eugen was the one who dealt with Vampire Cam.
right.
And Cam, he probably knows that you haven't been cured of it yet.
I do not know what you talk about.
Well, if that's the case, I must be going on another one of my rants. But anyway, it seems like we're not dealing with any elementals.
Well, you're dealing with me, Master, but I assume that's not what you meant.
What about fiends?
Nope.
Your familiar takes a chuckle.
What? We're not fighting any of those. Unless you want to die. But that would make you the third brother to die in a day, and that's kind of lame.
The fourth, another one just died. Flames get, but I do have 6 new brothers and sisters. Flames go out and they come back quickly.
Your parents must be busy.
Well, you know what they say, spreads like wildfire.
I'll have to remember that one.
So if
But-
it's not fiends, and it's not
Could
it
be
poss-
aberrations.
or undead.
Zombies in the
check-
water? That would be a little too redundant. We already fought zombies in the cave.
I have to change something real quick.
Now go changing creature types to be like,
These aren't undead corpses. They're possessed by mind flayers, okay?
What if sailors have? My brothers used to talk all the time about sailor legends, though. The twins would go on and on. I'm going to miss them. Anyway, they used to go on and on about legends they heard in the market when they were trading. And the one survivor of the ships, Edith walking forward, he got called back to the sea, didn't he?
Ooh, sirens?
That's what I'm thinking. Makes the most logical sense. You
But
didn't happen to feel cold towards the sea, did you?
no, but someone did trying to use a spell on me. Obviously, they failed.
Well, obviously. Well, they could have just. Never mind.
Fire, go find another ore, the one after the one you lost.
You're sending a creature made of flame to retrieve a wooden object.
We're standing on a wooden dock right now, aren't we?
He's
Technically,
building a-
yeah, she's right. I am floating.
You do not know how to levitate, speed asshat. Shut the mouth.
Exactly.
As you guys notice, the dock now gets started setting on fire.
Sir Umbreon says, "Oh, he doesn't even have an attack move, so his flame's not even hostile."
Exactly. Also, you can control flames. Just don't make just make sure the flames don't spread.
You're gonna keep pulling this stuff with me, Umbreon. I'll have the whole dock burned down by the time you get done talking.
Well, he can we can both snuff out flames. Pretty easily. Instantaneously, almost.
He goes over here to grab another ore.
Thank you.
with the
Was that
elements.
so hard?
He turns to the other side and drops the ore in the water. I'm sorry, sir. My hand slipped.
Dang.
Edith will walk over and pick up the ore.
Now thank Miss Edith for fixing your mistake.
Rolls her eyes.
The elemental looks over to you, Edith. I apologize for all the pain and trouble my master must have caused you.
That's not what I said.
He's a little lizard, but he is our little lizard.
Fair enough, fair enough. Thank you for picking...
Again, at that last comment, you get Edith pats you between the ears.
I'm related to a dragon, Edith. That's racist. More related to dragons and dragonborns.
All right, you're a little dragon.
Thank you.
Oh, my little dragons are higher CR than
So-
your entire corp.
You're a little dragon who enjoys scratches behind the ear.
That's semi not true.
Semi not true. Your tail's wagging.
Exactly. That's why I said semi. I don't like scratches behind the ear from everyone. Like, no. Damn gnomes. Also, halflings.
Why halflings? Gnomes I understand. That's...
They flaunt about how they're always luckier than me and say I saved your life when some random stuff happens, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
These two have not had much of a chance to interact, and I'm loving this.
Like, I caused that arrow to miss. Bullshit, you're standing halfway across the field.
By the way, Inogen, after I fell ill, I have some flashes of memory, but I don't remember a lot of what happened. It is like I was, well, severely
Well,
ill.
you woke up.
Yes, I remember that much.
The
I
first time you woke up after being cursed, you jumped out the window.
That sounds about right.
The second time, after we put you back in, you started whipping yourself. I tried stopping you, but I'm not that physically strong.
It wasn't any time before that. I was awake.
Yeah, you're awake doing it, saying you deserved it for being unlawful, whatever that
I
means.
mean before the window.
Well, from what I remember before that, Damien, what's Sunlight, and our good armored buddy were all talking about you and how to help you out, and I was in a bag.
Why were you in a bag?
For reasons. Sanguinary
Alright then.
said hop in a bag, and I did.
You have an eyebrow raised at you. Why do I get the feeling it was not so willing you hopping in? This wouldn't happen to be related to the merchant you attacked, would it?
Yeah. Don't worry, I won't attack him again. I'll kill him next time.
Yeah, you get a smack on the head for that one.
Come on, that was a little black humor.
But you're red, Master.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So only black people gonna make black humor?
Yes.
I thought they could only send that one word.
I don't know.
What word?
Where I come from, everyone's orange.
That's not true. Some people are red.
Some, not all. Most orange.
Only orange lives matter in the elemental plane of fire, huh? You know, I'm gonna get you canceled one of these days.
Alright, Edith
Be
is
king
going.
if you can't remember your subjects.
Edith is going to step through and
And
start tending to her horse.
The elemental dismissed itself back in the pocket dimension for now.
Sadly, you don't get that choice, buddy. Only I do.
Hooey.
Am I wrong? I don't remember.
No, you're absolutely right. That familiar has no right to do anything. that unless Umbreon tells it to do something, it's not allowed to do it.
You should have read the fine print, moron.
Fine familiar is more fine servant, but worse.
Fine servant for the rest of their life.
So fine slave.
Yeah? It's not even after they die they're free. You bring them back.
Not inherently.
So Edith is going back to her horse to see if it's alright. Because she's realized he's not prancing around anymore. Hush now, it's alright. I'm here. I think that's a signal that to move on to someone else.
I guess we can move to where both Blue and Claude reconvene to close to the dock. Unless you're willing to do more paperwork.
Well, I don't need to do literally any. Damien doesn't need to do any of this.
So what does Damien want to do then?
There's a shit ton of stuff. And Downhill, we weren't in agreement that we're all going to the dock after. They were going to scout it.
Fair enough.
I have returned.
Wait, has a way to reach what, Claude? What were you referring to when you said that?
What? we didn't say we were in agreement to go to the dock.
Oh,
People said they're
right.
going to go scout.
Right. I got you.
And then I was like, oh, so when we reconvene at the dock, I'm like, that's not the next step. Not even close.
So,
Not really.
what does Damien want to do?
First, we have to investigate an uncle.
Uncle?
Yeah. That is potentially extorting people. It needs to be interrogated.
Oh, you mean Mario?
No. You don't even remember. Oh my god. I'm trying to help out little children doing my day-to-day job.
Oh, them. I just didn't think you were going to go back to that so quickly.
I literally said I would do it as soon as I could. And you're like, oh, the days pass. I would have done it in the 2 days off, but...
Alright, so... As... During the last few days, you noticed the kids weren't showing up at the job fair. But today, when the job fair is starting up again, and you're taking a look around, you notice the young kids again, the 3 young kids. They seem to be getting ready to do, hopefully, another day's work.
So the days that they weren't at the job fair, where were they?
Would you like to ask them?
Downhill, I would have looked for them. Me and Apex have a similar thing of we can spend 24 hours an entire day doing what we need to.
Yeah.
But Damien does not waste a single hour of time.
I gotta make a question to be able to find them.
Well, first off, the most important, were they at all where they were staying at, i.e. the church? The old man actually do something and recognize what happened to them, if anything.
They weren't at the church for the last 2 days.
Did they state a reason, and did they mention where they were going, or did someone come and get them?
The old man said that they said, okay, hold on, let me get this all sorted out.
This is really important. Damien cares about doing the job fair correctly. Yeah, there's even like a slight hiccup of, oh, someone got hurt. Well, I have to count for literally everything according to that.
He said that
Just in case.
he said that a woman came by and picked them up, claiming to be their mother. He asked the kids if they wanted to stay at the church, and after a moment, they said no, they wanted to go home.
Whatever you gotta do.
Rose.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Rose.
She smells like a clean baby. Oh, she
So-
didn't like that. She's looking at me.
And gonna.
And they haven't been seen for 2 days after that.
Did you
Mm.
analyze the situation that they were in with the supposed mother?
The mother acted pleasant, and it didn't seem like anything was wrong.
And
From
the
what?
kids acted how?
A bit strangely when they saw them.
Sorry.
But after talking to the mother a little bit, they decided to go home. I did pull them aside
I had
and
to,
ask if there
because
was
that's
anything they
the
wanted to tell me. And, I tried to convene with them a bit, but they didn't really open up or anything. Like, they
Robbery.
stayed
I'll give you the
mostly
best
quiet.
back for it. No.
Downhill, you're gonna
Okay.
be really upset.
What?
From this point forward, I do not supervise any of this. If there is ever an issue, you get me or a guard.
Understood.
I am unappreciating you of these duties until you have received proper retraining, which I do not believe you will achieve.
Oh wow.
The entire reason is
That's
just he's
fine.
old. It's not like, oh, I don't think you're smart enough. It's, buddy, I don't think you have much more time.
God.
And David's not gonna like sugarcoat it, so.
He looks down to the ground a little bit.
Does Arlene have
You
time?
know, a little bit of you know, sad. You could clearly tell he's slightly upset, but he understands where you're coming. He's giving you the nod of like, I understand, sir. Am I at least allowed to continue doing the daily preaches?
I have no care for your religious uses of this building. However you deem to use that, you are free to. And just when people are brought here, they are brought here to utilize the building.
Yeah. Downhill. Are you able to hear the TV in my background?
Not really, no.
Okay, good.
But
Now I'm gonna make a trek of search through town to get other people to search through town for the other individuals. There's definitely people who've seen the children before.
I like to move back to present day.
Should have pulled me off for this downhill. I can't fuck up a single thing I do.
Anyway, back to present day. After searching for a bit, the parents themselves claimed they had no idea where the kids were, and searching a bit around town, there was no sign of them immediately.
I'm going to literally browse their area for any signs of their presence. If the kids had anything here, anything that was left of note.
The house that you go to talk to the parents about?
Yeah.
You know, they
if
had
they
a.
would like to tell me not to, I will go back and get a search warrant.
They had a small sleeping area, a few handmade toys, and what looks to be a handmade chair, like a stool, I should say, in the corner. But that's about it. They don't seem to have any indication that they were here.
And then back to parents. The first main question: has this been addressed that you've lost their presence for a period of time?
After the incident with the job fair, we thought it'd be safer for them to stay at the church. So we have not seen them ever since the job fair.
So the church will testify to that statement.
I believe so, yes. Like,
can I inquire of a uncle or someone of a similar familiar relation?
the man speaks up. Yes, he's my brother. He used to work on the farms for a while. Me and my wife, we end up doing a lot of traveling trade, so we leave him here from time to time to watch over the kids. As most of the time I have to travel to the capital to sell my wares.
and their presence would be?
He has a house a few streets down, closer to the farmland.
Your assistance is helpful. Thank you. I may come back for further questioning.
Not.
And now we file a proper. Hey, there is missing people. They're currently being investigated. Oh, Damien himself is personally taking a investigating eye onto this. Further assistance should be offered.
All right, the guards will get involved.
I simply ask around for who's seen them. And then I will go straight to the uncle's place, or at least to where it is rumored to be.
All right. You get to the uncle's place, and you see him just, sitting on a chair right outside his house, looking over like the farmland. What looks to be a strange bottle on a barrel right beside him.
What's strange about it?
The shape of the bottle is not like what you would see like with a normal like a wine bottle or alcohol. It's shaped with like different grooves into it, and it has some weird drawings on it.
Might I attempt a check, whether that be a religion or something else, to discern if that has any like meaning behind it, or is simply cool-looking design?
You can make a religion check.
Okay, religion. I believe 17, looking good.
It doesn't seem to have any religious meaning behind it, from what you can tell.
Okay. But I shall wave to and approach.
The man kind of grunts a little bit as he gets up. Now, what the hell do you want?
I am here to forward queries on a missing persons report.
Yeah, who's missing?
An assortment of young children.
And I should care why?
Because you're a member of this society. If you do not wish to, I can simply induct a search and leave. Though your ineptitude to worry is frightening.
And what authority do you have to search my house?
None in the immediate, but I can gather some.
You part of the guards?
To a degree.
You have any way to prove it?
Wings.
Is that immediately relevant? You are free to not answer my questions, just as I am free to roam your abode in the outer regions, which are still deemed public area.
Then you may do that, but you're not stepping a foot into my house until you can prove that you're a guard.
Alright. Then we'll scout around the area. Any signs of struggle, anything special of note?
Towards the edge of the house, there is, like, where the houses are stacked close together, they're, like, the little, like, in between, there seems to be a small. There seems to be like some cart tracks, but that's about all that's really noted.
Hmm.
Where do the cart tracks go?
Towards the farmland.
Okay. Go back to the man in question. You are free not to answer any of these, as you have no current legal reason to. However, mind you explain the functions you do to a day-to-day, and any abnormalities you might have seen.
Well, I do functions day to day. I used to work on the farm for a while until I hurt my leg. So I mostly end up staying up here and doing repair work, such as on carts and other farming implements. Stuff that the blacksmith, that we don't need to talk to the blacksmith about, you know? So if something is just slightly splintered, I would replace the handle on it. But if like the pitchforks are completely bent out, we would go to the blacksmith for it. I also work on carts, crates, stuff like that. That's mostly just to keep myself busy nowadays, though.
Have you any family in the immediate area?
My brother and his wife live down the street, and they have 3 kids. I like I go babysit their kids whenever they go out to do their trade at the capital, but that's a rarity there.
It's
And I used to have a wife.
I find it quite odd that you
I
have
had a wife, but they took her in the divorce.
a close interaction with children and are not frightened for the potential missing cases of children. Do you have a falling out with your nephews or nieces or whatever they might be?
Not with them, but with their father. They fixed my brother's cart for him free of charge. And then when I got my leg injury and told him I couldn't babysit his kids anymore, apparently something happened with my wife and them at some sort of job fair thing. He got upset. Told me not to come by with my wife anymore. Later, I found out that my wife was doing that moon dust crap behind my back, kicked her out of the house.
Oh my god.
But before this leg injury, she mostly stayed home all day by herself, so I didn't know what all she did.
That is the helpful information. Thank you for giving it aloud to a local detective.
Hey, can you do me a favor at least? If you find them, let me know. I may be mad at my brother, but I still care about them. Even a little bit.
Um, the children in question, I'm afraid they might not be related to you.
Oh, I do apologize then. I thought this had something to do with my brother's kids. That's why you came to me.
Merely checking the outer regions of town.
Okay then, never mind. Not my family, I don't care.
Alright. Then I shall see you. How much do you want to actually do? Because this is just going to continue. Go through every single possible
I'd
avenue.
rather we go back to present day at
Yeah.
this point. Where that was kind of your last lead. The lady kind of fell out. They didn't find her anywhere in the town. And no one else knew where the kids were. When you went back to the job fair, you do notice the kids are there. They seem a bit tired, but they seem to be trying to work. The youngest notices you and says, "Hello, Mr. Damien. How are you today?"
Has there been an altercation with the set of you?
The youngest one takes a moment. What does altercation mean?
An issue. Problem.
As they're about to say, "Lily, don't. It's nothing for you to worry about, Mr. Damien."
It most certainly is. Lacking a set of employees is rather worrying.
We apologize for not being here. It's just our aunt took us out of town for a few days.
And to my acknowledgement, you were likely forced into it.
A bit of a blank stare goes across his face for a moment as he simply says, "Our aunt took us out of town for a few days."
If you do not wish to speak into detail of it, you do not necessarily need to. But if there are ever issues, I have reset a reestablishment for how the housing shall be held to.
So, alright. It's just after work today, we got somewhere to go.
Is there a particular thing you need to get done?
As they say, we have a friend to meet after work. We just want to hang out.
I am certain that is not true. But I do not enact in degrees of excessive force. If you are in foul situations, you can escape them through the aid of others, regardless of how foul a situation might bring you to.
They say nothing more. As they will quietly do their work. But the kids are here.
Yeah. And I have a place to be, apparently, after work.
Yeah.
Because you know what a funny thing is, downhill? Wellness checks don't need the person that you're getting checked on to agree to it.
Huh?
Wellness checks don't need the person you're checking on to agree to you checking on them.
Yeah. They don't. So, after work's going to be quite a while, Claude. Is there anything you want to do in between?
I'm part of work.
Understood. So that's where Claude's going to be for the next 8 hours.
What the fuck do you mean 8 hours?
Nice long working day. Anyway, moving on.
It's been 2 hours. Literally every single day it's been 2 hours.
Nah,
I'm messing with you, Claude. I'm messing with you.
we're gonna go on an 8-hour work trip, guys.
I'm gonna work children 8 hours. I'm completely fine with that.
You know, I didn't know we did the slavery rule in this.
It's not slavery. Literally everyone gets paid. It's called wage slavery. I mean, it's different.
That's currently what Domino's is doing. Anyway, it getting dark for a moment aside. Rose.
Yes.
Just wanted to
What
make
do
sure
you
you're
do?
here. I know I have an idea what Rose is doing, but Rose, I need you to pick a virtue.
A what?
A virtue.
What's that?
Damn.
Virtues are.
No. She wants the other one. But
I
the
need
virtues,
what is it?
they're like good things about a person. You can be faithful. Wait, fuck. What I use?
You follow like all of them.
Did I use? No. What did I use? Capital or the heavenly ones or the happy thoughts?
I think the heavily one. I believe you used the heavily ones, Claude.
I'm going there right now.
Wait a second. Where's virtues? There. Chastity, temperance, charity, humility, patience, kind of. I did not use heavenly because that includes faith.
So, Rose, which one would
What?
you? So, chastity, temperance, charity. Like, which one of these virtues?
Patience, kindness, humility. I'm pretty sure kindness was the one.
I think it was kindness.
Understood.
I believe. Why?
So you need to obey by that.
You need to
virtue.
do one every 3 days. Wait, not 3.
5. Yeah.
Ah.
It's on there.
And Rose forgets our mini sessions and her backstory. Understandable, but sad.
It's not my fault. We haven't done it for a while. And also, downhill, I was thinking about that. What happened to my character? So, meow.
Yeah. Anyway, Rose, real quickly, what were you doing during the 2 days of downtime?
Trying to control her wings.
So they just don't randomly pop out?
Yeah.
So for the last 2 days, you've been locked in your own room. Gotcha.
No, not locked away. She does come down to like eat and stuff and everything. But
You come out for the bare minimum for 2 days.
I mean, if she does go out, I mean, she'll ask around, see if anyone needs her help with anything.
So you go around just trying to increase morale of the town and also help out those where you can lend a hand. Gotcha.
Yes.
While also working on concealing yourself. Gotcha.
Yes. Because
Alright.
she doesn't want to show her wings.
Yeah, sleepy potato.
Downhill being like, oh, I'm trying to be somewhat, secretive to the players. Rose, nah, I just don't want to show my wings.
I mean, I can show my. Well,
Yeah,
technically,
Rose
I
is a
said
fiend, and she's
Marcus.
trying to hide her
Technically,
fiendish
so what
wings.
you talking about, Downhill?
Or,
Sort of
she secretly
abomination.
became an Aarakocra or an elemental.
There's plenty of things that have wings, Downhill.
Anyway, moving on.
Part that gave it away is like, what virtue did you pick?
But,
I don't think I picked any, but I remember it was like kind of.
so was everyone going to reconvene at the house, or what was the plan after that? I just want to know real quick. Where's everyone planning on reconvening?
I assume the house.
That's what I'm guessing. The house. So.
Hey,
We didn't
Cam, how did
necessarily
our
declare
Also-
a
expedition go?
Also, she goes to that one moon lady to help her. She wants to go to her and see if she can have any free time. This the two of them, so she can help her. Could what she's dealing with.
Moon Lady?
Alright.
Once on a moon
I
bed?
forgot her name.
It's a church thing.
Oh, okay.
There's the sun people and the moon people.
Yeah.
The one person I saw on the road, they were asking me about like, oh, but this is your domain. I'm like,
Oh, little one.
I don't care.
Did your mother wake you up when she came and booped your nose?
Oh my
No.
god.
Apex is such a dad. This is great.
Yeah.
Sounds so cute.
Bite me.
I
But you
can
never
do that.
answered
My baby when he's
never answered my question.
so
How did our escapade go to the docks?
Well, it someone admitted he knows the truth. So we might have to take care of that.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
Or more accurately, you would have to take care of it, and Edith knows nothing about it. The horse is scared of the water. We have a piece of wood with weird writing on it.
The horse
And-
got onto the water.
above
Yeah, the
water.
horse turned into Jesus for a little bit.
What?
Fair enough.
What?
So yeah, the horse turned into Jesus, walked on water, looked into the water, saw something, and got spooked. Then we also have a piece of wood with strange writing on it that neither Imogen or I couldn't read.
Okay.
And Imogen needs to learn how to keep his elemental better.
Can't really do anything if I don't tell it to. So all I can really do is smack talk you.
For someone who is angry about slavery, you sure do seem to keep a slave.
Well, the thing is, he willingly signed up for this contract.
Yes, that is called indentured servitude.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, he willingly signed up for it.
Actually, that's also different. That's not indentured servitude. Because in that case, it's because they're forced to sign to it.
I never forced him to
To
do
my
anything.
knowledge, Inogen did not pull out a gun.
To my
You
knowledge,
tried-
Inogen...
To our knowledge, we also didn't see how the negotiations went. So Eugene might as well pull out a gun.
Yeah, and then
Well,
there was
that's
some...
assuming guilty before innocent, which is a bad thing to do.
Then there was also some Inogen Edith bonding. and Edith is trying to figure out what happened. She's got some vague memories of what happened before she had her first taste of blood.
Mm.
One of which involving Damien, and she remembers some of it, and is like, "Hey, does anyone know what happened during this? Because I don't remember clearly."
But that's the basic rundown.
Fair enough.
I'll give a better basic rundown. Enogen and his familiar basically took a boat out for a little bit after confirming that it wasn't an elemental or a fiend messing with people, and a mist started to build up a lot more. It doesn't seem to be too natural, but there is no. Enogen could not determine how it was being done. Then something attempted to charm him and his familiar before the water seamlessly pushed the boat back to the dock. Beforehand, they received a piece of wood carved with strange symbols on it that no one so far can read.
Got it. All right, continue as you were.
So
I'm just continuing to watch The Legends of Vox Machina with the child.
it'll be a miracle if your child doesn't grow up to learn to love D&D.
Nah.
Hey, you
Listen,
almost said learn. I'm like, yeah, she's definitely gonna learn. I don't know how much she'll like it. That's her choice.
But moving on now. So, people reconvening at the manor, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone par Damien.
Everyone except for Damien. Gotcha. So, Rose, you have somewhat of a handle on it. You just have to keep concentration on it so it doesn't pop out on you.
Okay.
You
Do
know,
I have anything to cover them? So
you have a cloak.
okay.
You keep-
I will wear that all the time.
Yes, the cloak you keep forgetting about every session.
It's not my fault.
I think it is at that point.
I still might figure out how I'm going to use it.
It's written on the sheet, Rose.
Okay, when I put it on, does it change me or this just hides my wings?
You can choose for it to change you if you wish.
Okay. No, not right now.
Cool. Moving on. So, Rose, Sunlight walks downstairs and sees that everyone seems to be convening into the dining room, except for Damien.
Okay.
As they see everyone else, looks like they all just gathering into this one room. I'll let the players take it over from here.
So, there is something in the water. It's scared Michelangelo. And nearly ate Enogen, I believe.
No. All it really did was steal an ore, which my familiar would have slammed or got it because, the whole made a deal with me thing. But we can talk about it later. Can anyone read what's on this piece of wood?
I mean, I can try.
Rose, you don't have the language for it either.
Oh, I don't? Never mind.
Neither does Marcus. Blue, you with us? And Apex, I can hear your TV slightly.
No,
What?
sorry. Well, not entirely much I can do about that. I'll just try and keep it low enough that you don't get copyright.
You could lower your or more correctly, increase the audio needed to pick up on Discord.
I don't have access to my hands,
Ah,
So downhill
which
can
is
just
why I
lower your
haven't been able
voice.
to, just mute myself. Because usually I just mute and unmute myself when needed.
But
Understand. I just lowered your
not
voice.
even Sanguinaria can speak the language.
I can double check his sheet real quick.
One sec.
I think that's just the case. Probably doesn't matter, but
Nope.
What about you, Clark? Can you crack it?
Can Clark read it?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question now.
What's his languages?
In chat.
Oh, never mind. Nope. It completely befuddles him.
So I think if it is this one, it's funny.
So let me get it straight. No one in our party can read what's on this board.
It's got a lot of symbols. So it has to.
Juridic. Fuck you guys.
So,
Comprehend language? Anybody?
what language?
Comprehend languages, the spell.
No.
So,
I don't know.
Huh?
wait, hold on,
Doesn't
let me
have
get
that.
you
Enogen's going to call up his familiar.
You called.
Do the thing, translation. I don't care if it's bad, just making sure it works. Be right back.
What languages can Ox read?
Oh no.
Comprehend languages, because
We have
my
the
thing's a
spell.
spell. I just didn't want to use one of its 3 spell slots on it when we first got it, because I thought someone here might speak the language.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's do this. Can
Still cast it though.
can
Spend the whole 10 minutes. Don't burn the spell slot.
Can't
Wait,
ever
never
switch.
mind.
Ugh.
It can't.
Aha. Okay, can someone pass me it real quick?
Enogen has it. He hands it to him.
Okay, thank you. Ahem. Let's see here. As he snaps his fingers, a bit of fire dances around him as he's like, yep. Okay, this is definitely a language.
It is a language. I do not know what language.
No, I can read it now. So you want me to read this out loud to you? Oh, you
yes.
just...
Oh, bad.
That was what the assumption was.
Well, he just told me to read it. He didn't say for me to read it out loud, but...
Yes, please.
You know what? Just because you're so nice.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Please read it out loud.
The leaders of land, remember the pack. The sea is territory. Yada yada yada. Ever since your treachery to our newest leader, yada yada. We warned you ahead of time to never come by our waters, yada yada. Next time you come by without a proper sacrifice, we will strike.
Sacrifice. Of course, it's always a sacrifice.
What's with the sacrifice?
It says a jewel of the sea.
Pearls.
I guess.
So-
Let's see.
Do you know what language it is so we could send a reply saying, got no idea about?
That's a.
No, it doesn't let you.
I don't know what language it is, and I sure as hell can't write in it.
Do you think they understand common?
Shrugs. Blue, you're muted.
I don't know.
Aquarian? Huh?
Aquan.
Oh. So it might not be sirens. It might be something else.
What could
It's the language. Is the language spoken on the elemental plane of water.
We know that there's not elementals within 1 mile of
Granted,
the dock.
that's out of character. Marcus does not know that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Then you know, someone is wearing her cloak over her shoulders.
Understood, but so Umbreon, your servant has
but
read
Marcus-
the thing.
But Marcus just kind of says, based on the wording of that, it seems as though our
Well, I have
previous lord had some kind of an arrangement with whatever inhabits the lake.
I gave the quick noted version. It's way too wordy for someone like me to read.
Well, based off the footnotes, it sounds like an agreement was made before any of us ever came along, and now we are expected to honor it.
For the purposes of archiving, give us a lengthy version. Unless you don't want to get paid. Because if you don't want to get paid, then, you know.
Email Jin.
Yeah, Jin, be nice to him.
Why?
At least he said, well,
You know, you told me to read it, and it wasn't because if it wasn't for these two nice ladies over there, I would have read it and then tell you what it said. I want you to remember that, boss.
And I want to remember, you to remember, you're replaceable. And not in like, oh, I get to go back home way. In the, I keep you trapped here in an intangible form way.
Settle down, Enogen. At least for now.
I did nothing to earn any of this hostility.
Yeah, you kept on being a smartass. That's my job.
Well, you need an intelligence score above 14 to do that.
Shame, you only got a 14. I have a 16, loser.
Not the way you're acting. Anyway.
Gentlemen, please.
Oh, yes, I do apologize for my master's rudeness.
No. Enogen is
So,
Enogen.
give me the
Enogen.
wordy version.
We need to know the details of this agreement to be able to honor it.
Alright. Alright, the spell lasts for at least an hour, so this... Yep, it's gonna take me to say all this.
Take your time.
For exchange of the pearl that grant thee power and wealth to help furbish the lands, you swore that you will not harm our territory, that we shall live in peace and live in isolation. Until one day you asked us for help with an incantation. We warned you that this incantation had consequences. You gave a sacrifice, a lady whose voice sings through the seas. The sacrifice was accepted by those who govern the waters. Our new queen was born. In exchange, you gain the ability to control the rain. Our water from our sea purified to help your crops grow. But when our queen took the throne, a new deal was struck. For your treachery against her, for her needless pain, you yourself will never come near the water again. Your men will no longer come near the water again. You closed your docks, and everything was fine until 3 more men came by. Drowned another, they did, for treasure they heard. Our agreement is over. Any ships you send, we will attack. Do note this, for your sins will continue to crawl along your back.
I'm kind of worried about the incantation.
Am I the only person who noticed that the only mention of a woman in the whole thing was a sacrifice made to make their queen?
I know. I noticed that as well.
Maybe some type of ritual.
What if
As he goes back in his pocket dimension.
I force him back there. He doesn't get to make any
Yes,
choices.
a ritual, a mating ritual.
A mating ritual. Ooh.
Clark, was there ever any hard bans on sea travel? Or going into the sea?
The DM will answer that. The docks were closed about 10 years ago.
What if instead of. What if just me and Sunlight tried to discuss things with these creatures?
Well,
The
seeing the
sound
fact
of
you
it,
can't speak to them, I think that's going to be pretty hard.
and judging by the way that it was spoken and the way everything was portrayed, they already have a queen,
Right.
and she is apparently not too happy or is apparently already hostile towards us. So the best thing we can do at this moment is try to appease them in whatever way we can.
Or just get rid of them.
On their home turf.
I mean,
One, we don't know how many are there.
Or what they are to begin with.
yes, but you guys are proposing we appease them or reconcile with them, but we have no way of communicating with them.
Maybe we don't have to.
What's your plan then?
The jewel of
Maybe
the
we
sea.
just need to,
Find
as
the
they
jewel
said,
of the sea.
make them an offering. Leave it to
And
them in silence and hope it does something.
so you're preying on good faith. Why not? Why wouldn't they just take the jewel and continue to wage war on us?
Well, they haven't made any
And that's
open
assuming they.
forms of they haven't made any open forms of hostility towards us as long as we stay away from the water.
Well, they kind of already declared war on us on the fact of any boat that will sail will be attacked from now on.
Thankfully, no boats have met that fate, as far as we know.
Yes. In the documentation, they said 3 people were killed after they broke the truce. And ever since then, people have been too scared to go back to the dock. So we are clear.
So you
that
went back.
I came back because I have combat experience and got lucky with them not putting their all into their enchantment.
Well,
And
What
if
if
we want to return the jewel, who's to say our previous owner didn't sell it?
Known him, probably would sell it to have some money.
Exactly.
Maybe, but it could still be here in the manor.
What are the chances of that? If
We
you're
won't know. We won't know unless we know what we're looking for.
Or what it looks like.
and sadly, I don't think we're going to know. Unless Sanguinaria has some idea what it looks like.
everyone just looks at Sanguinaria?
Grunt.
I'm sorry about my cats.
It's okay. I can hear the kitty.
They want food, and I am not feeding them as I have D&D. Although, actually, it's getting kind of annoying. I'm gonna go feed my cats, you guys. I will put in my 2 cents. Edith doesn't
Okay.
have to breathe. She's not gonna bring this up, but she doesn't have to breathe underwater, so she will volunteer to try and talk to them.
Despite the fact we can't speak the same language.
We can try! They might understand common or celestial.
You can't speak common or celestial underwater.
This is true.
That's true.
Just because you can't breathe doesn't mean you can get past the issue there.
Shut up! It is worth a shot.
It literally isn't.
Oh,
Because from what they said, it's on site.
It's on site. There's no reason not to deal with this because they literally said it's on site, even if it's not the necessary people. Because there was no mention of, hey, we checked to make sure those are your guys or these are your ships.
right,
Yeah.
alright. Fine, I'm gonna go feed my cats.
Right. Yeah, that's the
So
point Eno's
basically-
gonna get at.
Yeah.
They declared war on us, even if they have no confirmation. So we just have to exterminate them.
They're literally fighting whatever is there. If we want to make a peaceful option, we have to confront them. We can't ignore them.
Extermination isn't always the first option.
I mean, it's the quickest option. But if you have somebody to converse with them,
Many
I'm
are
all
there?
ears.
Well, your little friend there has a way of communicating with them potentially.
That is false. Clark knows how that spell works. It does not work that way. Clark can get that spell. He didn't have it prepared last time, so he's never going to have it again.
Oh, he would be able to understand them, but he won't be able to speak it.
But he could translate for us.
And what do we do with that information?
At least know what they're saying.
Okay.
So when they tell us what the note told us that they gave Enogen.
Fair. Let's just leave it alone at that for now.
No,
We can't.
They are going to continue attacking us, and if we continue to be complacent, they might go on a full frontal assault.
So how do we even attempt to combat them?
Well, obvious from the title of queen, they must have some sort of abode. And seeing how they have
Palace,
some,
castle, something.
well, you can give yourself the title of queen, doesn't mean you have a castle.
Well, some form of a home.
That's why I
Somewhere
said
under the
abode.
water?
Most likely. And seeing how the mist got thicker as I went further on dock, that means they are using it as some form of protection or detection. Most likely both. So, our best option is to set sail. And when their vanguard comes to confront us, we dispatch them somewhat and try to find out the whereabouts of their.
Really? Like, that's your plan?
That's unironically a worse plan than not dealing with them.
Well, I mean, one way to do it.
That plan's literally just, hey, do you want to die the fastest?
Personally, I'd rather not drown today.
Exact drowning's overrated. But we should catch up Damien on all of this when he gets back. Speaking of that, ringing up Damien.
This.
Insightful as always, clerk. But does Damien pick up the phone call?
Fuck no.
Leave anything on red?
I'm just doing sneaky boy shit because I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna be like outside of rational sight, and I'm going to track them down.
You can talk to me mentally. You don't have to speak.
I don't fucking know that.
Ah.
Not once have you explained it. Damien doesn't even understand what the fuck it was.
Well, Ada doesn't feel like he needs to explain something people don't ask about.
I just have global telepathy. And what?
Tele who?
Damien must be doing something important or he's dead.
Or both.
Those aren't mutually exclusive. Could have been doing something important and died because of it. But with that, I think our main jury is disclosed about that. Clark, if you have free time, can you give me some maps of the nearby waters, if any?
Stares at Downhill. There's also another thing of could we look into languages of the world? For no particular reason. Is there like books on deep speech at all? Literally the language of sea creatures.
And now
you
take to learn it.
you could
Because
you
Damien's
could
a linguist.
you could find it. Yeah, like it's difficult to come across though.
What about the maps?
Yeah,
They're not too detailed, but you do have a few maps of the surrounding waters.
caves, other points of entry.
There, closer to what looks to be an old abandoned watchtower castle thing. Closer towards the edge. Like, okay, I'll probably put it out on the actual map.
I hath returned from feeding the demons.
So closer to like over here-ish.
Okay.
Oh, damn, how much land does this place fucking own?
It's not landlocked. It's just that's a little misleading. Yeah, because you guys would have had to travel a while to get to the docks.
Damn, Damien's fucking partying with all this time, man.
But like I don't know, maybe half of day on foot or boat, you guys can get to like this weird cliff that has a huge cave entrance there, by the water. That'd probably be the closest thing to a cave entrance near the water that you guys can think that's on the map.
Any
other
But-
caves are
what are they called? The underwater like ravine things.
I don't think you guys would have the ability to map those at this time.
They're really relevant for boats
yeah, sea
because they can
cabins.
fuck up. Yeah, they can fuck up boat travel.
They can have different currents than the ones the boats ride on, and that can really mess up a ship. So it's really
Yeah.
important to find those things out.
Or at least notes of like, hey, these exist X far from water. Avoid these areas.
Those. I'm gonna be real. I haven't thought about it. We could say there's a few like over here-ish, over here.
Yeah, that's
They're
Yeah.
far out
that's
of
some
water.
minute level.
They're-
That's some minute level stuff that Downhill probably didn't think about.
Yeah. It's really important. Is it near shoreline? It's the only question we need to ask.
No.
Okay, then we are not dealing with that issue right now.
Cool. So we'll have some people investigate that when Damien comes back. Until then, or if Damien comes back, I'm gonna give him a day. If he doesn't show up, he's dead. If so,
That's fair in a way.
Enogen, what's the comeback condition? Because there's one very important fact that just overlooked.
David doesn't live in the fucking manor. And it drives me up the wall.
but just looks like, hey, if he doesn't come back in a day and he doesn't respond to my call the next time I call him, he's dead. And if
He's
so,
dead.
I'm throwing a funeral, I guess.
I'm gonna say L, and I'm gonna default dance on an imaginary grave because we don't got enough stone for that shit.
Yep.
So what's going on? What did I miss? I was feeding demons.
There's a cave that we should explore for water thing over here. That's a way to go underwater without being underwater.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
probably where they could have put their kingdom at. And
Well-
Enogen tried calling Damien, didn't respond, so Enogen said he's either busy or dead or both.
If it is
So-
relevant, the last time you called Damien, literally the same. No, wait, I answered yes.
So, out of curiosity, do any of us know where Damien lives?
Not particularly,
no.
but he's not answering the telepathy, so he's either dead or busy. I'll give him till tomorrow, and if he doesn't come back by then, he's dead.
I know where all of you live.
Yeah, fucking fight me, Sanguinaria. Where do I live? Where does Damien live?
The same place everyone else lives.
That's not true.
No, it's not. And I'm like, it gives me such a headache.
Ew.
Damien
You
doesn't
live
live
the
in-
exact same place everyone else
I don't
lives
live
on the
anywhere
planet.
near that.
So let's break
We don't
this
believe
up.
in planets yet. We're not that far.
So let's break this up for now, and we shall reconvene once we find Damien.
If he's
That
alive,
seems like our best bet.
And with that, I'm going to call the session here.
Wait, can I just have one more roleplay moment, please?
Can I get in there with some of that D&D? Cam being the drug addict.
Shut up. I love being the dramatic. So
You got any more of those D&D sessions?
Edith knows that Marcus was
Wow,
around.
doesn't even.
Please.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
Yes.
I have no role in this game.
Edith is just going to take Marcus aside and be like, you were around when I first, away from everyone else in the party.
Okay.
So, you were around when I first woke up. According to Enogen, he heard your voice while he was stuffed in a bag. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember Damien was there, and I remember talking, but I don't remember what I said. So, do you have any? Can you help me fill in those gaps, please?
You said a great many things about Damien.
He just starts to turn red. What kind of things?
Very flirtatious things, to be completely honest.
Well then, how bad was it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Embarrassing enough to where, well, we were all confused by it.
What exactly did I say?
That you kind of liked him a lot. And, well, you were pretty well caught up in the moment.
I was drunk. Let's leave it at that.
In a certain type of way, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I fully understand the situation. I remember some of it. I just wanted to make sure I understood the situation before I talked to Damien again, and I'm heading out looking for him now, so. Oh,
I've been there too, so.
thank you. All right then. Thank you for being honest. That was all I wanted to do.
All right.
Marcus just looks up at you and tips his hat.
All right. Well, I am going to call the session here. I
Alright.
hope you all had some fun. Next session will be on the 9th, and I'm moving the time back by 2 hours.
Okay.
That
then.
way, Rose and Blue can get here and be more part of the game throughout the sessions.
All
We're gonna
right,
see how that works next session, and this may be a permanent change.
Okay.
I'll have to talk with my music teacher, but I've been talking about switching back to Thursday classes, so
All right.
wish me luck.
If there's anything else I can help you guys with, let me know. I do want to talk with my PTU players after this, but I hope everybody's enjoyed the stream. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.